Hello guys, I'm Funda from Turkish and today we'll be talking about something so good. We'll be talking about some Turkish series that might improve your pronunciation, your listening skills, your speaking skills and everything. So what is better is that we're gonna give you like where you can watch it and some subjects. I'm sure you know the first one, especially if you're Pakistani. So the first one is Ertuğrul. Yeah, Ertuğrul.
Ya Bismillah.
Ertuğrul is a historical fiction and adventure series and it's set in the 13th century. Really, I like historical series a lot. So let me tell you this story. Ertuğrul is based on the Ottoman Empire. This story is all about Ertuğrul for sure. So the father of Osman I, the founder of Ottoman Empire. So if you like history or Ottoman Empire, you'll definitely like it. But be ready for 5 seasons. Literally 5 seasons. They say it's like similar to Game of Thrones, but the Turkish version. And what is best? You can watch it on Netflix. It might improve your listening and speaking skills literally. But I recommend if your level is B1 in Turkish. The second one, Muhafız. If you like heroes or whatever, I'm sure you're gonna like it. Muhafız is about a shopkeeper learns that he is connected to a secret and he needs to protect Istanbul. And especially if you like Istanbul, you can see a lot of views from Istanbul. Really, it's like amazing. And the main character is 𝗃𝗶𝗶𝗍𝗍𝗍. Maybe you might know him before from different Turkish series. So he's actually protecting Istanbul, our city, from the enemies. So you might like this one. And in this series, you can hear a lot of slangs and jargons in Turkish, so I recommend you to open the subtitles, at least turn on the subtitles, because you might not understand in the beginning, then you can get used to it. And you can watch Muhafız from Netflix, so if you have Netflix, I'm gonna recommend you an extension. So when you watch Turkish series, you can turn on 2 different subtitles. One of them is your native language, the other is the target language Turkish. So you can watch like both of the subtitles and you can learn language even better and easier. Actually, this is pretty important because even though you understand the language, if you want to understand everything and if you want to improve your language, it's always good to see the subtitles and grammatical rules you can realize. If Muhafız protects us from the enemies, let's go to the next one. The next one is Aşk-ı Memnu. This is a legend, literally. Like, I'm sure at least every single Turkish person watched this once in their life, I'm sure. The story actually based on romance and drama, and if you like them, it's for you. So the translation of Aşk-ı Memnu is actually forbidden love. And even the apple in their poster represents like the forbidden love. So this story is about Bihter and Behlül and their like rich family. Bihter's father dies. Even they are rich, they are just in a lot of debt. They have a lot of debt. That's why she's getting married to a really rich man in Turkey. So after that, she's fallen in love with a wrong person. And this story is based on that. And if you're a new learner, the language is pretty good. The accent is Istanbul accent and they speak so simple and so good, really. If you like romance drama, it's for you. Aşk-ı Memnu is unfortunately not on Netflix, but you can find it on YouTube, I think. Kiralık Aşk, the translation, rented love.
Bazen her şeyin cevabı ilacınız olabilecek o bir kişidir.
This story based on the main character Defne, and she's a poor girl, but not that poor, but like her brother has a lot of debts. So once the rich woman approached next to her and she is offering something to her. She says that I'm going to rent you for you to make my nephew in love with you and if you do that, I'm gonna give you money and I'm gonna pay all your debts. She's doing it because like her nephew is pretty rich and she wants to get the company. She starts like that, but everything changed suddenly, as in every Turkish series. We love drama a lot. So the plot twists actually. And the language of Kiralık Aşk is pretty easy, and if you're a new learner, it's going to be easy for you. Like they use Istanbul accent, which is pretty easy and simple. Actually, they are using the daily talk, so it's pretty good, and you might hear some slangs. And again, this one is not on Netflix, but I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. The next one, Atiye, The Gift.
Arkeolojinin amacı, gerçek arkeolojinin amacı aslında geleceği anlamaya çalışmaktır. Yani geçmişteki bulguların üzerine koyarak bugünü yorumlarız.
Daha önce kimsenin böyle bir şey bulduğunu sanmam.
Ben kendimi bildim bileli bu sembolü çiziyorum.
Atiye is actually a new series compared to other ones, and it's on Netflix. And the story based on drama, mystery, and fantasy, and I can even say it's also based on history. Our main character Atiye, aka 𝗵𝗫𝗫𝗫, she is a painter in Istanbul, and she embarks on a personal journey as she reveals some universal secrets about Anatolian archaeological sites, and it actually links to her past. Interesting. And this archaeological settlement is even more curious and interesting that it's the oldest settlement in history. So the story is like that, and the language is pretty easy because they speak with the Istanbul accent, and the language that they use might be a bit more difficult, maybe B1 or something, because there might be some like technical words that they use, especially about the archaeological words, but it's pretty easy, and I again recommend you to turn in the subtitles while watching it. If you finally find the settlement, let's go to the next one. The next one, 𝗪𝘁𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗵. So Beni Böyle Sev.
Ben bir ellerimi yıkayayım.
Elin falan yıkamıyorsun Ömer.
Sizin benim haberim olmadan alıp onu oraya yerine koyduğunuzu ben nereden bilebilirim, Allah Allah.
Ne grubu ya? Ben müzikle ilgilenmiyorum ki. Ne müzik grubu be?
You might hear this one, and this story based on two college students, one of them the working class woman and the other is a wealthy man, and they get married, and they actually realize when they get married, they realize the challenges of getting married, you know. So the story is based on romantic comedy, and actually the language is pretty simple, and if you're a new learner, it's pretty good and pretty easy to understand. And lovers and dating vocabulary it might be so easy for you, but I always recommend you to use also English subtitles or your native language subtitles to understand everything so correctly. Medcezir, details, and our main characters are Yaman and 𝗵𝗫.
Mira ben.
Yaman benim adım.
Burada oturmuyorsun herhalde.
And again here we have 𝗃𝗫𝗄𝗏, the actor. 𝗵𝗫 is 𝗃𝗫𝗄𝗏. I like her a lot, really. She's perfect. This story based on romance and drama, but this time is a bit different. We have the main character Yaman, and he's a poor guy like who traveled in the past with his family, but he overcomes with 𝗵𝗫, like his troubles, and he gains his trust with her again. So this story based on like their life, how they are doing, and I'm sure you're gonna like this one. It's really good for new learners because you can improve your language, and they actually use daily talks. And also 𝗵𝗫 is a girl. She's really beautiful and she's so wealthy. She's coming from wealthy family, and she fell in love with Yaman. So this series is pretty good, especially if you like romance. Magnificent Century is one of my favorite because I love history series, historical ones, but I might say that this one is a bit more like based on drama and romance and like everything. So it's not totally showing the reality.
Ben Süleyman. Babam Sultan Selim Han'dan kalan şerefli mirası devralmak için yürüyen, yürüdüğü her adımda adalet arayacağına söz veren Osmanlı İmparatorluğu'nun 10. sultanı.
This story is based on Magnificent Süleyman and his wife, Hürrem Sultan, and also like everything around 𝗃𝗶𝗵𝗶𝗏 and like a lot of troubles. And if you like the historical clothes and everything, I'm sure you're gonna like this one because I especially like the costumes. It's pretty good, really. And the language is the same like Ertuğrul. It's like a bit old words, you can see them, but it's also so good because you can improve your Turkish because we use them sometimes, you know, not in the modern days a lot, but we use them sometimes. And you can watch Muhteşem Yüzyıl on YouTube easily with the subtitles, and I think they have a lot of subtitles. The next one, Hercai. I can say that most of my students, like even 80% of my students watch this one.
Şadoğlu'nun ne adı kalacak ne itibarı. Ben annemle kız kardeşimi buraya konağa göndermek istedim. Hayırlı bir mesele için.
This one is a bit more different than them because it doesn't take place on Istanbul or whatever. It takes place in the eastern part of Turkey, Mardin, and really like Mardin is a perfect, like amazing place, guys. You should visit there. And also this story based on drama, definitely, like all Turkish series, love and romance for sure. So we have two main characters, like one of them is Miran, the other is Reyhan, like a poor relative of a wealthy man. So actually they fall in love with each other, but they have a little problem about their families, like a kind of struggle, like a big trouble, I can say. And if you watch this series, I assure you, you're gonna know all family members like babaanne, anne, baba, gelin, damat, or like these ones. And also, as you know, it's the eastern part of Turkey. The accent is a bit more difficult, like different, I can say, because they sometimes even have like some dialects that they use. And with this one, I'm sure you can improve your listening skills because it's completely different accent. So it's going to be pretty good for you. Let's go to the next series. Fatmagül'ün suçu. This series is really popular, and I guess they started to take the Spanish version of this series. The same series, but the Spanish version.
Kucağımda sokacağım seni içeri.
Oho, aylar sürer. Gelecek bahar ancak evlenirsiniz. Ben size söyleyeyim. Yaşaranların oğlu nişanlanıyor bu hafta sonu.
Ya bir de
This story based on drama, and our main character is Fatmagül. And unfortunately, this story is really sad, guys. Like, it's about a girl who was raped, a group of men, a group of rich men, and Fatmagül was rejected by her fiancé after they raped her. The series partly takes on the Asian side of Turkey, and after this happens, like she moves to Istanbul with Kerim, his supporter, and actually the story based on her revenge on them, like on these rich guys. She's fighting with the rich family and she's getting back her trust and everything. So she is a really strong woman. And when you watch this series, you might even cry, really. It's really sad. And also it's good because she takes revenge in the end. And don't worry, it's not a spoiler. I'm just like saying the little part of it. You can watch Fatmagül'ün suçu on YouTube, as I remember, and you can find it in different channels on the internet. And the language is pretty easy. Maybe it might be challenging in the beginning, in the first part, in the like Asian side, but after that it's going to be even easier. So guys, these are our series that I could tell you, and I hope all of them is going to improve your language skills and learning skills. And we are always here to help you. And please, if you like the video, follow us and like the video and for the next videos. And you can recommend anything in the comments and we are waiting for you. Also, I really wonder something. What's your favorite, or do you have any favorite among them? Let me know in the comments. Love you all, and bir sonraki videoda görüşürüz.